Everyone. Thank you for joining us for the largest swearing-in ceremony in Evesham Township history. Tonight we have 22 officers that we're recognizing. We're both swearing in new officers and recognizing officer promotions. I would like to thank all of the family and friends who are here to support our officers and our agency. Without your dedication and support, our exceptional staff would not be who they are or where they are today, so thank you. I would also like to welcome and thank our dignitaries who are here tonight. Mayor Jaclyn Veasy, Deputy Mayor Heather Cooper, Councilwoman Patricia Hanson, Councilman Eddie Freeman, Councilwoman Gina Marie Espinoza, Burlington County Prosecutor Lucia Bradshaw, Evesham Township School Superintendent Dr. Justin Smith, Township Manager Robert Corrales, Commissioner Director Dan O'Connell, and Congressman Andy Kim. Thank you to the dignitaries for taking the time to support our officers, their family, and our agency. We will now have the Evesham Police Honor Guard and Camden County Airmen Society for the presentation of colors. Thank you. Please welcome Rebecca Madorno, who will be singing our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Rebecca. Chaplain Bill Lukerman will now deliver an invocation.
I'm honored to be here this evening and to be asked to give this invocation And I'm also honored to be a chaplain with such a top-notch police force. We really do have the best here in Evesham. And I want to offer my congratulations while I'm at it to all of you that are being promoted tonight. I know you worked very hard, probably much harder than I work to achieve that. So congratulations to you. Let's pray together. The great and everlasting Father, you who created the heavens and the earth, I thank you this evening for these officers who serve our town at great personal risk. And we give thanks to you for all they do. And by the way, they don't get very much thanks themselves, Lord, so we're going to thank them tonight. And we thank you for how hard they've worked to be promoted and to continue to get better at what they do. I pray you would bless all of our officers, the ones being promoted and everyone else, that you would keep them safe as they serve our town. I pray for their families, that you would protect them also and keep them in your peace. And we pray that tonight's ceremony is everything it was meant to be. And Lord, we pray all these things in the name of your Son who died for us, Jesus. Thank you, and amen.
Okay, thank you, Chaplain Lukerman and the Camden County Emerald Society. Please welcome Congressman Andy Kim for some words.
Good evening, everyone. I'll be brief here as I know the main event is coming up. But I just want to say thank you to our officers. Thank you for stepping up to serve. Those who've been serving, thank you for what you've done. And for those stepping up, we appreciate that you're doing everything you can to be able to keep our community safe. This town is a town where I went to kindergarten. It's a town where my parents are retired. You're here to protect our community. And I'm grateful that you're protecting my parents and my family and doing everything that you can to be able to serve. So in that vein, we have a grateful community here that's rallying around, and we have a grateful country that appreciates your service. For that, I wanted to fly a flag over the United States Capitol in your honor. and be able to present it to you all as a token of our nation's appreciation for what you're doing. So if everyone can join me in a round of applause as we hand over the flag. Thank you. Should I just put it here for now? Or? Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Congressman Andy Kim. Please welcome Mayor Jaclyn Veasy for a few words.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I'm really honored to spend this evening with all of you, especially with the 23 officers that are behind me, each one that I've gotten to know over time and have seen our department grow and change, especially in the last couple of years, couple of months. And it's really exciting for the future of Evesham and how our police department is moving forward. This is the largest swearing in of police officers in our department. And when I said that to a couple of people, they were like, wow, we're getting 23 new officers? And I said, well, no, not all 23 are new officers. We have some very talented officers that have been given promotions, and they are being sworn in this evening, as well as with our new recruits. So 23 officers, a deputy chief, all the way down to a SLEO 1, each one of them who cares for this community as much as I do, as much as our elected officials do, as much as all of you do. And we know that they give their heart and soul every time they step out to serve our community. And it's not just the 23 officers that are behind me. I see so many officers who are here to celebrate their fellow police officers, the chief. And it's just really special to think of this police force as a family. And I know many of you are their family, and they couldn't do what they do. We couldn't rely on them without the support of their families. And I just want to say thank you to all of you, because I know they give a lot of time and a lot of their energy to our community and probably take them away from your families on special occasions. But we are extremely grateful. Public safety in Evesham is one of our top priorities. You can see it in our police force, and we're very proud of all of them. And I'm just so honored to be here with all of you. And I know on behalf of all of council that we're honored to be here with all of you tonight to celebrate these achievements, to welcome in our new members as part of our family, and just to continue to work to make Evesham the best community to live in, the best community to work, have a business, and just take care of each other. So thank you to everyone for being with us tonight. I'm really honored to have the prosecutor with us, as she is a new Burlington County prosecutor. And I'm so glad that she's able to spend this evening with us, as well as Congressman Andy Kim, who took the time to say thank you to the Evesham Police Department for being here with us. Thank you again.
Thank you, Mayor Veasy. Please welcome Burlington County Prosecutor Lucia Bradshaw for a keynote message.
Good evening, everyone. And it is a good evening. I'm so very honored to be here today, and I appreciate and send my sincere thanks to Chief Walt Miller for the invite. And it really, truly is a good evening. I had the pleasure of running into a representative when I first got here from Congressman Kim's office, and the first thing that she said was, oh my God, I could never have worn a white suit to an event like this, and there's a story behind that. So I'm newly appointed as prosecutor, so I have been working through lunch a lot more than I typically used to. And as I started eating my lunch today, I was like, what was I thinking? Wearing this white suit that I'm gonna have on all day and not have time to go home. And so it is a good evening, because I'm not here in front of you today having to explain away a coffee, ketchup, or cranberry juice stain. So it's all uphill from here. So welcome to all of our newly hired officers, as well as our career officers, their family, friends, and loved ones who are here to encourage and celebrate them today. As I walked in, I saw, I think, Gorman and Dixon, and they almost sold out the whole crowd with just these first two rows right here when I saw the reserved seats. So welcome to everyone's family and friends and loved ones who are here to celebrate with them today. It is my sincere pleasure to welcome some and to be a witness to others who are reaffirming their commitment to law enforcement, as they've demonstrated the skill, integrity, and work ethic to move up the ranks. I think we have some new officers, sergeants, lieutenants, a couple of captains, as well as a deputy chief. And today is the beginning of a new chapter for the most challenging yet rewarding journey of their lives. As a career assistant prosecutor for over 20 years, and now county prosecutor, I know firsthand the importance of having good, quality officers with the desire to protect and serve the community. And I know that term is a little cliche, I know we hear it all the time, but I really want them to focus on that phrase and take it seriously as you navigate through your law enforcement careers. What that means today and what that job demands of you has grown exponentially throughout the years. You're no longer simply expected to get the bad guys off the street, but you're also expected to really, truly serve your communities. Sometimes to be a mentor to at-risk youth, be a mediator of disputes, and even to de-escalate them. A little mental health expertise wouldn't hurt if you have it. Substance abuse disorder advocates, and even administer Narcan and literally bring folks back to life, among many other professional demands that will be placed upon you. The people you serve will be looking to you to do all of that well. In addition to crime fighting, this is your mission. No pressure, right? And why is it so important for you to do this job well? 3 brief reasons, and I'll be on my way. 1, it's important for you to do your job well because your character and reputation will precede you everywhere you go in this profession. On the street, in the community, off the street, within your office with your colleagues, superiors, as well as with prosecutors and judges. Be more concerned with your character, and all things regarding your reputation are going to fall in place. Your character is who you really are when no one is looking or listening. Be a warrior when warranted, but otherwise be humble. Be consistent, disciplined, and use wisdom and be accountable for your actions and choices. And trust me, you want to have that reputation when the prosecutor gets that report or that search warrant or that CDW and sees your name. And we know from there it's going to be smooth sailing and accurate read with all of the information we need to move forward. And when you show up for grand jury testimony, notwithstanding the fact that we might walk you all the way through it with leading questions for that purpose only, but we appreciate when you've thoroughly reviewed your reports and are prepared to answer any factual questions of us or from the individuals in the grand jury. Be that person, that officer, that when the judge says, Madam Prosecutor, call your next witness, he already expects that he will hear clear, competent, and credible testimony. You can never please all of the people all the time, and there'll always be naysayers. Some people just can't help it. But establishing and maintaining your character is what will carry you through the day. Second, as a law enforcement community, we are all an integral part of making some of the most important decisions that affect the lives of our residents, whether they're suspects, defendants, victims, or family members from any of those categories. Our interactions with them can literally reverberate through generations. Those early interactions you have with young people at National Night Out, Coffee with a Cop, and similar outreach programs form the trust that residents will have with you. Good relationships with the community makes your job a lot easier. This isn't just a job. This should be your calling. We no longer need you to see yourself as warriors unless you know you're walking into a war zone. And that may actually be the case sometimes. We need you to be guardians and part of the community. You cannot police a community you're not part of. We are the professionals and are held to a higher standard. If you can't uphold those standards, this is not the place for you. High standards are what I'll expect, and I'm sure you will all rise to the occasion as you have great leadership in the ranks who will set wonderful examples for you. Third and finally, you are the gatekeepers of justice. You're literally the boots on the ground. You witness most violations first and are the ones to decide how to proceed, whether someone enters into the criminal justice system, so you need emotional intelligence and wisdom. You'll be making split-second decisions, deciding whether to charge, whether to engage in a pursuit, what the appropriate level of force should be if it's necessary at all. And we as prosecutors rely on your judgment and expertise to acquire the final phase of justice in whatever form that comes. Your job won't be easy, but you know that, and you're still here. Now, my teenager is a huge Marvel fan for many, many years, so I've seen all the Marvel movies once or twice, or 5 or 6, or sometimes 7 and 8 times. And so I know that the police officer who puts his life on the line with no superpowers, no X-ray vision or superhuman strength, no ability to fly or deflect bullets, has far more virtue than any superhero I've ever seen. You are our modern day heroes, real life heroes. You have an abundance of power and discretion. So as the saying goes, with great power comes great responsibility. Use your power wisely. Congratulations to you all. God bless, and stay safe out there.
Thank you, Prosecutor Bradshaw. Please welcome Chief Miller for a message on behalf of the police department.
All right, good evening. Just before I get started, one thing I want to point out. I don't know if you all realize, but in the last week, it's been a pretty exciting time here in Evesham. We had a group of 10-year-old kids go and win the Little League World Series. They're here with us tonight to support one of their coaches, Captain Jason Siltonen, so we can give them a round of applause. Congratulations, guys. It won't be the last time we celebrate with you. All right, good evening. Thank you all for joining us tonight to celebrate the individuals up here on stage. The success of any police department is built upon who the agency hires and promotes. This group defines our profession. There are people who possess higher levels of character and talent. They are the key components for all our future success. I could not be more proud of this group. They are why our agency is positioned at the pinnacle of the profession. Shortly after the beginning of the new year, the Evesham Police Department slowly began making incremental changes, all positioning our agency for tonight and the agency's future version of itself. Through many hours of work, we have instituted highly competitive hiring and promotional processes. Sitting before you is the cream of the crop in the policing profession. This is the largest swearing-in ceremony to ever take place in the 56-year history of this great agency. I want to thank Township Manager Robert Corrales, Mayor Jaclyn Veasy, and all the members of council, for without you, this is not possible. Your support is why we are here tonight. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Tonight, these men and women will take their oaths of office. Some will take an oath for the first time. Others will take an oath, one among many over their decades-long careers. Each of these oaths will contain an allegiance to a constitution. Through this allegiance, they are swearing to live by and defend a vision of freedom conceived nearly 250 years ago by rebels who understood the need for a strong government, however, one that was tempered by individual rights. Under our Constitution, individual rights are not guaranteed by government, but protected by it. These men and women will be guided by our forefathers, policing a complex world our forefathers could not have conceived. They will balance the complexities of law enforcement against the fundamental rights guaranteed through the Constitution. The vision of the Constitution will live through the thoughts and actions of these men and women. Their output is the freedom we enjoy and the safety they will eloquently will provide. They will end their oath with, "So help me God." This will not be the last time they call upon God for support and strength. Tonight, these words demonstrate the serious significance of the oath they are pledging in front of all of you. When responding to a choking child turning blue, they will respond with, "So help me God." When they knock on the door to deliver news that a family member has been killed, "So help me God." When they're faced with violence beyond our value of life, "So help me God." When they see grief and pain in others in situations they can't fix, again, "So help me God." When the visions are locked in their head as they're lying in bed trying to sleep, "So help me God." They will be in the field seeing and doing things most will never be called upon to see and do. I ask, "So help them God." There's one item missing from the oath they will take tonight. It's a very important item. That's the support that they need from each of you, especially from the loved ones, those sitting up here having their lives. Policing is a family profession. Your unconditional love and support is what they need to endure this profession. Policing is the greatest profession in the world. However, it is far from an easy one. So I ask each of you tonight to end your loved one's oath with, "Together, we got this." Thank you for allowing me to serve with each of you. I have been saying many times over, our future's bright. These men and women, along with all those serving in Evesham Police Department, are the reason why. Tonight, we thank you and congratulate each of you. You earned this. Now let us celebrate you, the Evesham Police Department, and the policing profession. Let us end tonight with us leaving and returning to something greater than ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Miller. We will now begin the swearing in of our officers. As we call officers up for their swearing in, we invite their family and friends to come up on stage to join them. I ask that if you do come up, you enter on the left side over here and exit on the right. So I'll now turn the ceremony over to Mayor Veasy and our council.
Good evening, everyone. What a great reflection of community. I am Heather Cooper, Deputy Mayor, and it is my extreme honor to be able to share the career stories tonight of the lady and gentlemen. First up is Deputy Chief Thomas Reinholt. I'll begin. Deputy Chief Thomas Reinholt has been a police officer since 1997, first serving with the Runnymede Police Department before joining the Evesham Township Police Department in 2000. He has held the position of Canine Officer, Accreditation Manager, Corporal, Sergeant, Lieutenant, and Captain. He is a graduate of the 281st session of the FBI National Academy. He is also a graduate of the Rutgers University Certified Public Manager Program and the New Jersey State Chiefs of Police Command and Leadership Program. He attended the FBI Mid-Atlantic Law Enforcement Executive Development Seminar at Princeton University. He is a New Jersey State Chief of Police Accredited Command Executive, wow, that's a lot, and also Law Enforcement Accreditation Program Assessor. Deputy Chief Reinholt has a bachelor's degree in criminal justice from LaSalle University and a master's degree in education from Seton Hall, and is one of the kindest men I've ever met.
All right. Raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Thomas Reinholt,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the same
to the same,
and to the governments established
and to the government established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform
perform
all the duties of
all the duties of
the office of Deputy Chief of Police,
the office of Deputy Chief of Police,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Yes, congratulations. Thank you.
Next is Captain Carl Scutt. Captain Carl Scutt began his law enforcement career in 2001 with the Evesham Police Department. Captain Scutt attended Delaware Valley College and Rowan University and holds a bachelor's degree in law justice with a minor in biological science. After graduating from Rowan University, Captain Scutt attended the Gloucester County Police Academy, receiving the Chief of Police Scholarship Award. Captain Scutt was hired as a full-time police officer by the Evesham Police Department in October of 2001 by Chief Joseph Cornelli. During his tenure with the Evesham Police Department, Captain Scutt has served as patrol officer, traffic officer, and detective. As a detective, Captain Scutt was detailed to the Burlington County Prosecutor's Office, Narcotics Task Force, and the United States Drug Enforcement Administration for an extended term as an investigator and deputized DEA agent. In 2015, Captain Scutt was promoted to the rank of sergeant and later to the rank of lieutenant. Captain Scutt is currently the administrative captain for the department, overseeing the department's training bureau, police development, policy development, and community engagement unit. He is an accredited command executive by the New Jersey State Chiefs of Police Association and a graduate of the West Point Command and Leadership Program, just a little more, through the New Jersey State Chiefs of Police Association. Captain Scutt and his wife Lori have two daughters, Samantha and Jaclyn, and again is one of the kindest, finest men I've met.
All right, step up to the microphone. Left hand. There. I state your name.
I, Carl Scutt,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the same
to the same,
and to the governments established
and to the government established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties of
perform all the duties of
the office of captain
the office of captain,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Yes, congratulations. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Congratulations. Which one is Jaclyn? Ah. Thank you.
Okay, next up is Captain Jason Siltonen.
Congratulations.
Okay, Captain Jason Siltonen began his law enforcement career in 1997, serving with the Seattle City Police Department, the Gibbsboro Police Department, Camden County Prosecutor's Office, and the Phoenix, Arizona Police Department. Captain Siltonen joined the Evesham Police Department in 2003 and has served as patrol officer, detective, intelligence analyst, patrol sergeant, and proactive patrol unit supervisor. Oh wait, there's more. Patrol Bureau Commander, Professional Standards Bureau Commander, and is currently the Operations Division Commander. Captain Siltonen attended LaSalle University and Rowan University and holds a bachelor's degree in law and justice. Professionally, Captain Siltonen is a graduate of the New Jersey State Chiefs of Police Command and Leadership Academy, is recognized as an accredited command executive by the New Jersey State Chiefs of Police Association, and most recently graduated from the 28th session of the Mid-Atlantic Law Enforcement Executive Development Seminar at Princeton University. Captain Siltonen is a 16-year Marlton resident. He is privileged to be afforded the opportunity to volunteer his time with the Marlton Travel Baseball Program, where he coaches on the 10 and 12-year-old travel teams. The 10-year-old team just won the Cal Ripken Little League World Series. Captain Siltonen and his wife Jennifer reside in the southern end of Evesham Township with their 4 children. Thank you for your public service. Thank you so much.
All right, get close to the microphone. Wait, turn to Dave. Ready? I state your name.
I, Jason Seaton,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the same
to the same,
and to the government established
and to the government established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties of
of the office of captain
the office of captain
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Yes, congratulations. Thank you so much.
Okay, next up is Lieutenant Erin Gorman. Lieutenant Erin Gorman graduated from Rutgers University with Bachelor's of Arts in Criminal Justice with a minor in Sociology. Lieutenant Gorman graduated the Camden County Police Academy Alternate Route Program and was hired by the Evesham Township Police Department in February 2005. She was assigned to the Patrol Bureau for the next 5 years. While in that assignment, Lieutenant Gorman was also assigned as a field training officer, crime scene technician, bike patrol officer, and was a member of the department's former Special Response Tactical Team. In 2010, she was assigned to the Internal Affairs Bureau, where she assisted with the department's first attainment of national accreditation status. In 2012, Lieutenant Gorman was promoted to the rank of sergeant and became the first female to attain the rank in the history of the department. Woohoo! While in the role of sergeant, Gorman was assigned to the Patrol Bureau, Investigative Bureau, Internal Affairs Bureau, and the Office of Professional Standards Bureau. Lieutenant Gorman currently serves as the department's wellness coordinator and is a trained New Jersey Master Resiliency Officer. Lieutenant was promoted to the rank of lieutenant on July 17th, 2022, and again became the first female to attain the rank in the history of the department. She is currently serving as Patrol Bureau Commander. Yes, give her a shout out. Woo! Mayor, if I may, just real quick, I want to say thank you for showing my boys what it means for women to serve. Thank you.
All right. I state your name. I, Erin Gorman, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the United States, and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, and that I will bear true faith, and allegiance to the same, and to the governments established, in the United States, and in this state, under the authority of the people, and that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly, perform all the duties of the office of lieutenant, according to the best of my ability. So help me God. So help me God. Congratulations. Thank you so much.
Okay, next up, Lieutenant Richard Dixon. Lieutenant Rich Dixon has been a police officer with the Evesham Township Police Department for 18 years. Prior to his promotion to lieutenant, he supervised the Patrol Bureau, Support Service Bureau, Community Policing Unit, and was the Internal Affairs Supervisor for the past 5 years. He holds a teaching degree from Rowan University and a Master of Arts degree in Leadership and Public Administration from Centenary University. He is a graduate of the FBI Law Enforcement Executive Development Triology Series, Supervision, Command, and Executive Leadership Institute, and a graduate from the New Jersey State Association Chiefs of Police Command and Leadership Academy. Lieutenant Dixon is currently the AB Patrol Bureau Commander. You can quietly see him at any of our events, and it is proud that he is here too as a public servant. Thank you so much.
All right. Turn yourself a little so they can see you. There you go. Ready? I state your name.
I, Rich Dixon,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the same
to the same,
and to the governments established
to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and
and justly
perform all the duties of
perform all the duties of
the office of lieutenant,
the office of lieutenant,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability,
So help me God.
so help me God.
Yes, congratulations. Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much.
Love you guys.
Congratulations, everybody.
Sergeant T.J. Schwartz. Sergeant T.J. Schwartz began his law enforcement career with the Evesham Police Department in June 2014 after graduating the Morris County Public Safety Training Academy alternate route program. Upon appointment, he served in the Patrol Bureau for 6 years, working in the proactive policing unit, serving as a field training officer, a firearms instructor, a fatal crash reconstructionist, and a drug recognition expert. Sergeant Schwartz was then moved into the Investigative Bureau at the rank of detective in July 2020, where he served until his promotion to sergeant and was recognized as Detective of the Year for 2021. Prior to law enforcement, Sergeant Schwartz attended the University of Delaware, where he attained a double bachelor's degree in criminal justice and sociology with a minor in legal studies. Sergeant Schwartz will be serving as a Patrol Bureau Supervisor, where he will be supervising patrol officers throughout the community on a daily basis.
All right. We have a little one. Got it? Yeah. There we go. I state your name.
I, T.J. Schwartz,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and that I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the same
to the same,
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
perform all the duties
of the office of sergeant
of the office of sergeant
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability,
So help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations. Oh my God.
Sergeant Patrick Hughes. Sergeant Patrick Hughes began his law enforcement career with Evesham Township in February 2016. Prior to that, Sergeant Hughes graduated the Camden County Police Academy Alternate Route Program and was hired by the Lumberton Township Police Department, where he served for 2 years. Once a patrolman in Evesham, Sergeant Hughes obtained his bachelor's degree in business finance from Rutgers University. During his time with our agency, Sergeant Hughes served in the Patrol Bureau, the Proactive Policing Unit, the Burlington County Civil Disturbance Team, and the Investigative Bureau, where he was assigned as a detective until his promotion. His professional background includes certifications in field training officer, fatal crash reconstructionist, juvenile forensic interviewer, and field force operations. Sergeant Hughes will be serving as a supervisor assigned to the Patrol Bureau, where he and the men and women assigned to Platoon B will work alongside each other to ensure the residents of Evesham feel safe and comfortable day and night.
All right. Here we go. I state your name.
I, Patrick Hughes,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
of the office of sergeant
of the office of sergeant
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Yes, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sergeant Robert Hansbury.
There you go.
Sergeant Robert Hansbury has been with the Evesham Township Police Department for 18 years. Prior to promotion, Sergeant Hansbury served in the Patrol Bureau for 15 years as School Reserve Officer for Cherokee High School. In the 15 years of patrol, Sergeant Hansbury is a field training officer, evidence technician, and an ALCO test operator. Sergeant Hansbury has an extensive background in detecting impaired drivers and is drug recognition expert, as well as a drug recognition expert instructor. Sergeant Hansbury attended Wagner College, where he played football and earned a bachelor's degree in sociology with a concentration in criminal justice. Sergeant Hansbury resides with his wife and 3 children. In his spare time, he enjoys coaching multiple sports that his children participate in and spending time with his family.
Other hand. Left hand, there you go. All right. I state your name.
I, Robert Hansbury,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
of the office of sergeant
of the office of sergeant
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Sergeant Kyle Cook. Sergeant Kyle Cook began his career with Evesham Township in 2017. Prior to being an Evesham police officer, he graduated from the Camden County Police Academy and was a police officer in the Camden County Metro Police Department for 1.5 years. Sergeant Cook was assigned to the Patrol Bureau for the entirety of his time with the Evesham Police Department, where he was a field training officer as well as a crime scene technician. On Sergeant Cook's second shift as a sergeant, he responded to a call for a barricaded suspect in a home threatening to harm himself and others with gasoline and fireworks. Sergeant Cook spoke to the male on the phone, calmed him, and talked him into safely exiting the home. This kept the male, his family, the police on scene, and the community safe. Thank you. Officer Ahmet Ekiz. Officer Ahmet Ekiz started his law enforcement career with the Evesham Township Police Department in May of this year. Previously, Officer Ekiz worked as a full-time police officer with the Branchburg Township Police Department in Somerset County for 2 years. He graduated the Mercer County Police Academy as an alternate route candidate. In 2017, he received an honorable discharge from the United States Army National Guard as an E4 specialist. Officer Ekiz was attached to the 104th Brigade Engineer Battalion in West Orange, New Jersey, specializing in building explosive and route clearance. Officer Ekiz is fluent in Turkish and enjoys spending his time off with his friends and family while he's not running and hiking. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I want to call Officer Adrian Plocica. Officer Adrian Plocica joined Evesham Police Department in May of this year. He started his law enforcement career in 2015 with the Ocean City Police Department, progressing through the position of Special Law Enforcement Officer Class 1 and Class 2. Officer Plocica received his bachelor's degree from Rutgers University in criminal justice. After receiving his degree, he accepted a full-time position with the Camden County Metro Police Department in 2019. In 2021, he accepted a position to work with the North Wildwood Police Department and worked there until coming here to Evesham Police Department this year. Officer Ryan Bassett. Officer Ryan Bassett began his career with the Evesham Township Police Department in May of 2022. He attended the Cape May Police Academy. Prior to that, he was a Class 1 Special Law Enforcement Officer with the Ocean City Police Department. He also attended Westchester University and plans on continuing his education to receive his bachelor's degree. Officer Bassett was born and raised in Evesham Township. He attended Jaggard Elementary School, DeMasi Middle School, and Cherokee High School. While he attended Cherokee High School, he played baseball and football all 4 years. He was one of the captains of the football team, and he loved leading his team down the hill during Friday night home games. In his free time, he enjoys watching and going to sporting events. He's a huge Philadelphia sports fan. He also loves going to the beach, traveling, spending time with his family, friends, and girlfriend, Libby. Officer Bassett recognizes he's been trained by some of the best police officers in the state of New Jersey here in Evesham Township. Officer Bassett takes great pride in where he lives, and he looks forward to a lifelong career at Evesham Township Police Department, where he'll serve and protect his hometown.
There we go. All right. I state your name.
I, Ryan Bassett,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United
in
States
the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
of the office of police officer
of the office of police officer
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Yes, congratulations and welcome.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you.
After a moment of technical difficulties, Officer Eric Salinas. Officer Salinas honorably served 4 years active duty in the United States Marine Corps as an aviation ordnance technician. During his military service, he attended Southern New Hampshire University and attained an associate's degree in criminal justice. Officer Salinas graduated the Ocean County Police Academy alternate route program and was hired by the Evesham Township Police Department on May 1st, 2022. He has been assigned to Patrol Bureau and has recently completed the department's field training officer program. Officer Salinas aspires to complete his bachelor's degree in criminal justice and excels as a patrolman.
All right. Just turn a little closer to see you. There you go. I state your name.
I, Eric Salinas,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and that I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the same
to the same,
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
of the office of police officer
of the office of police officer
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Yes, congratulations. Welcome. Thank you. Congratulations.
Officer Dylan Bonilla. Officer Dylan Bonilla was hired with the Evesham Township Police Department in January of 2022. Prior to working in Evesham, he was a Special Law Enforcement Officer 1 with the Toms River Police Department. Officer Bonilla has been serving in the New Jersey Army National Guard since 2016, go Army, beat Navy, and currently serves as a medical service officer with Charlie Company, 250th Brigade Support Battalion. He receives his bachelor's degree from Rowan University in 2021 with a major in biological science. Officer Bonilla is assigned to the Patrol Bureau, where he'll begin his field training as a probationary police officer.
I state your name.
I, Dylan Bonilla,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the same
to the same,
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform all the duties
of
the office of police officer
the office of police officer
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Yes, congratulations and welcome. Thank you.
Officer Norman White. Officer Norman White is currently 24 years old and resides in Marlton, New Jersey. Officer White grew up in Marlton. He attended Cherokee High School and played football as a Chief. He attended Rowan College at Burlington County and graduated with a degree in criminal justice and psychology. He is planning to achieve his bachelor's degree in the near future. Officer White is a first-generation police officer and is a recent graduate of the Camden County College Police Academy, class number 81. He enjoys weightlifting, snowboarding, and basketball in his free time.
Yes, here we go. Ready? I state your name.
I, Norman White,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and that I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the same
to the same,
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially, and justly perform all the duties of the office of police officer according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Yes, congratulations. Welcome. Thank
you. Officer Joseph Arlotta. Officer Arlotta grew up in Voorhees, New Jersey. Officer Arlotta started his law enforcement career with the Evesham Township Police Department in 2019 as a special law enforcement Class 1 officer. Prior to that, Officer Arlotta was a member of the Evesham Police Explorers Program. Officer Arlotta served as a special law enforcement Class 1 officer for 2 years while attending Stockton University. After meeting college requirements, Officer Arlotta was then promoted to the position of Special Law Enforcement Class 2 officer. While attending the police academy, Officer Arlotta was promoted to the position of full-time police officer, where he now serves the Evesham community. Officer Arlotta enjoys working out, hunting, fishing, and woodworking in his free time.
All right. I state your name.
I, Joseph Arlotta,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
of the office of police officer
of the office of police officer
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Yes, congratulations. Welcome. Thank you.
Special Law Enforcement Officer Ramon Wright. Officer Ramon Wright is a resident of Marlton, New Jersey. He grew up in Newark, New Jersey, and he graduated from Irvington High School in 2014, where he played basketball. Officer Wright attended the Valley Forge Military Academy, where he earned an associate's degree in humanities. Officer Wright then attended Westchester University and Rowan University, where he earned a bachelor's degree in liberal studies. Officer Wright played basketball for both universities and was a scholarship athlete. At Rowan University, he was named the NJAC Player of the Week, selected as the Conference Defensive Player of the Year, and named to the NJAC second team, as well as the D3 Hoops All-Atlantic Region third team. Officer Wright graduated from the Gloucester County Special Law Enforcement Academy Class 1 program and is now serving the residents of Evesham Township. Officer Wright appreciates his mentors Rob Lascala, Chris Borrell, who introduced him to the world of business and management. Officer Wright accredits most of his success to his parents, Raymond Wright and Jennifer Smith, his mentors, failures early on in his life, and the city of Newark.
I state your name.
I, Ramon Wright,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state
and the state
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
of the office of SLEO 1
of the office of SLEO 1
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Yes, congratulations and welcome.
Good evening. Special Law Enforcement Officer Matthew Divito. Officer Matthew Divito served almost 26 years with the Evesham Township Police Department before retiring in December 2021. During his career, he was a DARE instructor, fatal accident investigator, and K-9 handler trainer for the department. In the last few years of his career, he was a member of the Community Policing Unit. While not at work, he enjoys spending time in the Poconos and is the head coach for his boys' soccer team.
All right, here we go. Step up a little. I state your name.
I,
I, Matthew Divito,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the same
to the same,
and to the governments established
to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
of the office of SLEO 2
of the office of SLEO 2
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Yes, congratulations and welcome back.
Special Law Enforcement Officer Paulino Apistar. Officer Paulino Apistar is a first-generation Filipino-American who served 25 years of service with the Evesham Township Police before coming back as a Special Law Enforcement Officer Class 2. During his time as a full-time officer, he was assigned to various units with the agency. He worked in the Patrol Bureau, Bike Unit, served as a DARE instructor for 13 years, and as an IT officer for 2 years, as a school resource officer at Cherokee High School for 8 years, and at the Van Zandt Elementary School for 3 years. Officer Apistar finished his career in the Community Policing Unit. Officer Apistar is certified in methods of instruction, defense tactics, serves as an OC spray instructor, and as a firearms instructor. Officer Apistar enjoys building custom cars, competitive shooting, and photography. Officer Apistar also is self-employed with spin photography. Thank you.
All right. I state your name.
I, Paulino Apistar,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the same
to the same,
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people.
and that I will faithfully, impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
of the office of SLEO 2
of the office of SLEO 2
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Yes, congratulations. Welcome back. Thank you.
Special Law Enforcement Officer Greg Gasparone. Officer Gregory Gasparone moved to Marlton in 1972 when his father was hired as a police officer with the Evesham Township Police Department. Officer Gasparone attended Beeler Elementary, Marlton Middle, and Cherokee High School. After he graduated from high school in 1985, he enlisted in the United States Marine Corps. Officer Gasparone was stationed to the United States Marine Corps Air Station located in Tustin, California, where he was a flight line aircraft mechanic inspector. Officer Gasparone was honorably discharged in 1989. Officer Gasparone worked in the airline industry as an aircraft mechanic with Pan Am Airways and Trans World Express. Officer Gasparone then attended Gloucester County College and earned an associate's degree. In 1996, Officer Gasparone graduated the Gloucester County Police Academy. There, he was the class leader and graduated in December 1996. In March of '97, Officer Gasparone was hired by the Rutgers University Police Department and was promoted to sergeant in January 2002. Officer Gasparone was assigned to the Patrol Division at the Rutgers Police Department. He was the supervising firearms instructor, field training officer, and was a member of the Camden City Critical Incident Team. Officer Gasparone was awarded 3 distinguished unit citations, 3 Meritorious Service Awards, and 5 commendations with Rutgers University Police Department. After 25 years of service, he retired from Rutgers Police Department in March of 2022. Officer Gasparone has been married to his wife Donna since 1987, and they have 3 children, Nicholas, Gianna, and Joseph.
All right. I state your name.
I, Gregory Gasparone,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New
and the
Jersey,
Constitution of the State of New Jersey.
and that I will bear true faith
I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state,
and this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people.
and that I will faithfully,
And I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
of the office of SLEO 2
of the officer SLEO 2,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Yes, congratulations and welcome. Thank you.
Special Law Enforcement Officer Matthew Luongo. Officer Matthew Luongo began his career in law enforcement in 1993 with the Delaware River Port Authority Police Department. Officer Luongo earned his bachelor's degree in criminal justice and public administration. Officer Luongo moved through the ranks and held position of lieutenant when he retired in May of 2022 from the Delaware River Port Authority Police Department. Officer Luongo joined the Evesham Township Police Department on August 1st of this year and now serves in our agency's training bureau, allowing him to share his knowledge and experience with a new generation of police officers.
All right. Turn a little so they can see you. There you go. I state your name.
I, Matthew Luongo,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United
the
States
Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New
and
Jersey,
the Constitution of the State of New Jersey.
and that I will bear true faith
I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people.
and that I will faithfully,
I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
of the office of SLEO 2
of the office of SLEO 2
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my abilities.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Yes, congratulations and welcome. Thank you.
Detective Jared Halpern. Detective Jared Halpern has been a police officer with Evesham Township Police Department since 2005. Detective Halpern graduated with honors from Rutgers University, New Brunswick, where he majored in criminal justice. During his tenure with the Evesham Township Police Department, Detective Halpern has been assigned as a field training officer, drug recognition expert to the ATV unit, and was a member of the department's former Special Response Tactical Team. Detective Halpern is part of the department's Wellness Committee and is a trained resiliency officer. Detective Halpern resides in Marlton with his wife and 2 children, and in his spare time, he enjoys vacationing with his family and supporting the multiple sports that his kids play.
All right. I state your name.
I, Jared Halpern,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and I will faithfully
impartially,
and partially
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
of the office of detective
of the office of detective
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Yes, congratulations. Thank you. Come on,
Detective Dylon Mahan. Detective Dylon Mahan began his law enforcement career with Evesham Township in February 2017. Prior to being an Evesham officer, he graduated from Gloucester County Police Academy and was an officer in the Rowan University Police Department for 1 year. Detective Mahan attended Rowan University, where he earned a bachelor's degree in criminal justice. Prior to moving into the Investigative Bureau, Detective Mahan served in the Patrol Bureau, where he was a field training officer, crime scene technician, and firearms instructor.
All right. Very good. I state your name.
I, Dylon Mahan,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and that I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the same
and
to the governments established
to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform all the duties of the office of detective according to the best of my ability. So help me God.
So help me God.
Yes, congratulations. Congratulations.
All right, Lieutenant Burdett's going to come up in 1 minute to just make some closing remarks. Before that, I just want to congratulate everyone. If you guys could stand. Obviously, this is a proud moment for our police department. There's one person I'd like to point out, Nick Matteo, if you could stay standing, because he already said. I think it's important to understand the origin of any police department. Back in 1966, then Chief Jansen hired 6 police officers. Nick was one of them. So thanks for coming, Nick. Nick ended up becoming... Nick ended up becoming the 3rd chief of police here, and who would have thought back then, Nick, this would be here tonight, so I appreciate you coming to join us.
Okay, thanks, Chief. So this concludes our ceremony. Thank you again for sharing with us the largest swearing-in ceremony in Evesham history. Please join us in the gym for a reception. The food has been generously provided by Rob Scala. Thank you for your support to our agency. Thanks again.